Call the meeting to order for those who care to. Please rise for an opening prayer and a salute to the flag. Dr. Ward, would you open us in a word of prayer, please, sir?
Father, we're always grateful for the days that you give to us, and at this particular time we do ask for safe travel on our streets, and we're thankful for the moisture. Pray for this meeting tonight that you would give us wisdom to make good decisions and the courage to follow through. I thank you continually for the men and women who serve this city. And Lord, we bring these concerns to you because we know you care. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. You know how it's going to go.
Oh, this could be a long one tonight.
Yeah. Hope not.
It will not be.
It's going to be a long one tonight.
No, it will be fine.
I think so.
Hope not.
All right.
You're getting pushback here.
Oh, yeah. Just a few announcements. First of all, I'd like to wish two of our young ladies happy birthday. Miss Poole, you have a birthday.
Thank you.
Hey, we're not going to say how old you are, even though they wouldn't tell me. Happy birthday.
I'll choke you.
I wouldn't. I can always count on Miss Poole. And, watch your step. Happy birthday.
I don't know how old I am either.
Because I don't know. That's the problem.
But Dan was going to sing happy birthday, though.
Dan, are you going to sing happy birthday?
I can.
Please do.
Please don't.
You want to take a vote on that, Steve?
All in favor?
To what, not sing or to? Also, from Mr. David Brock would like me to do a public service announcement. Now, let me read this properly. Now available for limited time only. That's a big word, David. Antiquated street signs for $5. He even gave me a, I like that one.
Okay.
So he's got these for sale. First come, first serve, and if you would, go to the Public Works Department between normal business hours 8 and 5 at 221 North Main. And he has these for sale, and he's got about, well, there's a whole, how many you got left, David?
Over 300.
Over 300 of these, not this particular one, but over 300. So if you spend $20, you can get four. Just checking your math, David. That's why he's an engineer. That's why he's an engineer.
Does the $20 include landscaping?
Yeah. Does it include landscape and the pole? Okay, just checking. Just checking. Anyway, $5 for those. Contact David at Public Works. That phone number is 3400.
Correct.
732-3400. $5 a piece. Contact them during regular business hours. Also, last item on announcements and some other things. The Missouri Oratorical Commission, which through the American Legion had their Zone 3 competition for their oratorical scholarships through the American Legion at the Republic Community Center the weekend before Super Bowl. That's the only reason I know what date it is. It's the weekend before Super Bowl. There was no football on. So, but anyway, they had the oratorical, probably not debates, but oratorical contest, and they had a great time. They had five wonderful contestants that spoke on the Constitution. They do this every year, and they have judges from around the local area, as well as people from all over from this Zone 3, which includes most of southwest Missouri, all the way to Dixon, Crocker, Iberia, all the way north into Clinton area. So this Zone 3 for the American Legion. They sent a certificate of appreciation to the Republic Community Center and Mr. Jared Keeley, and I'd like to present that to him on behalf of David Schaefer and Hewitt Donald from Zone 3 of the American Legion. Dane, thanks so much. Thank you, sir. And last but not least, let me announce that? Sure. I'm in the mood, yes, sir. Council and people, Valentine's Soup and Salad Day is tomorrow, February 14th at noon at City Hall. If you'd like to come down, have soup and salad. Is that okay?
Yes.
It is now. It is now. All right. Sounds like something nice. All right, I'd like to open up now to citizen participation. Anyone wishing to speak to anything not on the agenda, please step forward, state your name, sign in, give us your best 3 minutes. Nobody? Okay. Seeing none, citizen participation closed. Need a motion on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. On the financial report, Laura, give us an overview, please.
Okay, I have, what you should have with your packets is a statement of revenue and expense, which will be something that we're gonna start providing the first, council meeting of each month. And hopefully this will give you a better idea of what is going on in the city and just, instead of just seeing the checks. Because this actually breaks down the revenues and the expenses for the month, since we just had the month of January right now, and then it will be cumulative as you receive more of these. And I will, mention to you that until the audit is complete, what you're seeing in here are revenues and expenses also that will be put back towards 2011, that until I am through with getting the audit prepared, and that's when the journal entries will be done. So this is still, what you're seeing right here is the cash basis before it's adjusted for the audit. And and, you know, if anyone has any questions or would like to stop by and see me and ask about it, please feel free.
Questions, comments, discussions for Laura on the financial report? It is very detailed. Make sure that you go through it. If you have questions about that, please contact Laura here at City Hall. It is detailed, but at the same time, we want to make sure you have every piece of financial information you can. The auditor has recommended that we have every piece of information. We want to make sure that you're aware of everything that's going on a monthly basis. This January statement is very detailed, so make sure that if there are questions that you may have, please contact her. Seeing none, need a motion to approve financial report.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, Laura. Mr. Krischke?
The only one thing I do want to mention, it's in my report, but if you didn't get a chance to see it, we've had series of bad luck on pumps at one of our lift stations at Schuler Creek. There's 4 pumps in total that operate that lift station. 3 of them went down, not all at once, but, you know, one right after the other. So we were actually down to 1 operating pump there for a short time. 2 of the pumps went in for emergency repairs. One's already back and in service. The other one will be worked on, but there is some substantial cost to both of those, and it's itemized in there, $6,000 for one, $14,000 for the other. The third is at the manufacturer. We're hoping that's a warranty issue that we can get corrected and paid for through warranty, but that is an expense that I just want to make council aware of, that's not foreseen for sure.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Dirksen, anything?
No.
All right, fantastic. Mr. Keeling. Welcome, sir.
Good evening. Future community events for February. Every Tuesday and Thursday at the Community Center, we offer Arthritis Foundation exercise program at 1:30. The dates for that are the February 14th, 21st, 28th, and those are the Tuesdays, and the 16th and the 23rd on the Thursdays. February 15th at the library is Valentine's Day story time at 10 a.m. That's for ages 1 through 6. February 17th is the last day to register for our youth spring soccer program. Season begins on March the 12th. February 17th at the library at 10 a.m. is Edge Mobile Class Learn It, self-paced tutorials, 10 a.m. at the library. Also on February 17th is Edge Mobile Class Download Made Easy, 1 p.m. at the library. February 18th, Parents' Night Out at our place, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And also on February 18th, we're offering 3 new adult dance classes. There's only a couple of spots left in each one of these. It's almost completely full. Mr. Harder will be joining us for some of those.
I'm sure he will.
Yes. But anyway, we have a couple spots left if you're interested. Two-step at 6:30, waltz at 7:30, and swing jitterbug at 8:30. February 20th, Schools Out program, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. February 22nd, Racing to Read story time at the library at 10 a.m. for ages 1 through 6. February 23rd is the Senior Citizen movie at 2 p.m. at our place, Community Center. It is going to be The Help.
Wow.
That was like the most response we've ever got out of it.
They've probably seen it.
February 24th, Toddler Story Time, 10:30 a.m. It's free and registration is not required. February 25th at the library is Lego Mania, 11 a.m. for grades 1 through 5.
Daniel will be joining you for that one.
I will, I love Legos.
February 27th, Toddler Open Gym, 10 a.m. No registration is required. We do that every Monday over at the rec center. February 29th, Racing to Read story time at the library at 10 a.m.
Fair enough. Thank you,
Thanks,
Jerry. Board Commissions and Committee Reports, Board of Adjustments, February 1st, 2012. Capital Improvements, February 21st. City Council, February 27th, and March 12th. Planning and Zoning Commission, February 21st. Need a motion to have the second reading of Bill number 12-21.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute an access agreement with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for a scrap tire cleanup event.
Need a motion to have final passage of Bill number 12-21.
Motion? Second.
I have a motion second. Welcome, Mr. Brock. Please give us an overview, sir.
Just a quick update. We've got some new information on the type of tires that we'll be able to collect. They're a little more lenient than when we worked with Empire Electric and the tires were going to be burned. These tires will be broken down by the folks in the federal or in the state penitentiary system, so they will take just about anything. Tractor tires, as big as we care to load them. They'll take tires still mounted on rims. The only tires that they will not accept would be solid rubber tires that you might find on some manufacturing equipment, and foam-filled tires. We do have a tentative date, March 17th. We have to hustle a little bit to get the executed agreement up to Jeff City, but we should be able to lock in that date. And we do have a firm commitment from Springfield Computer Recycling to do a satellite collection for e-waste simultaneously.
Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Brock. Mr. Harder?
Says there's a small the expense to see is the labor. What would that be?
The state essentially parks a tractor-trailer truck, and we perform the event. So we shepherd the folks over, we load the tires, and we lock the doors. When we're done, they'll come pick up the trailer the following Monday.
So who are the we and the we?
That is the street department and myself at this point.
And you, if you'd like to help.
We are accepting volunteers. Okay.
Yeah.
After Lego Mania.
After Lego Mania, I'll be there.
That's a good question. Also, explain a little bit about the computer software there, David. I think we had some conversation on that the last
Computer recycling, they accept a number of electronics and other electrical items with at no charge, but they do have a recycling fee for TVs or any monitors, anything that has a CRT in it. Those are $20. Microwave ovens are $10. Fluorescent bulbs, $1. But anything else, and there's a long list here of anything that might have copper wiring in it, anything with a motor, sewing machines, lawnmowers, those can be recycled through that business at no cost.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Brock, additional? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Harrelson?
Aye.
Councilmember Poole?
Aye.
Councilmember Ward?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Councilmember Brashears?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson?
Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, David. Need a motion to have the first reading of bill number 12-22. Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending Title VI, Business and Occupation, Chapter 630, Pawn Shops and Pawnbrokers, Section 630.040, Operational Regulations, by modifying restrictions on the installation of physical security features.
Welcome, Gail. Please give us the overview.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is probably a disappointment because I'm not Mr. Tyson, but I'll do the best I can to
You'll be fine.
take his place this evening. This bill basically is going to allow the pawnbrokers and pawn shops the ability to have outdoor security systems inside their windows, basically, at their facilities. And the current code allows the outdoor bars and security systems for just about everything that there is in the commercial aspect of things, except for pawnbrokers and, I know it's strange, but it does, pawnbrokers and pawn shops. There were several burglaries, I think that took place, attempted burglaries on Highway 60 in months past. This brought the issue up to the planning department, where we worked through the ordinances and found out that this was something that really needed to be sewn up and closed up for the safety of those premises. The police and fire departments, as well as our city building inspector, has looked at all of this, and there shouldn't be any concern as far as emergency egress and ingress. So at this time, this is what this bill is proposing, is to allow pawn shops and pawnbrokers in the City of Republic to have these mechanisms on the inside of their facilities.
Interesting. Questions, comments, discussion for Ms. Noggle? Mr. Wilson, go ahead, please.
How many pawn shops and pawnbrokers does the Republic have now?
Well, I'm only aware of one.
Well, that's the only one I can think of.
They're regulated by state statutes as well. Now that we've gone up in population, there could be two, and we've had an inquiry about adding a second, but so far no action by anyone.
And these bars will be on the inside of the windows, right?
For the pawn shops and pawnbrokers,
Right.
yes.
But the ordinance, as it says, states right now, allows them any other business on the outside. Is that what I'm gathering? It's kind of odd that you would allow them on the outside, but on any other business, not a pawnbroker. So,
They're the ones that need it.
very strange. Very strange. Additional comments, questions, discussions from Ms. Noggle? Mr. Harder?
And again, fire chief and police chief say they have no problems with the safety requirements for any of that? As far as, okay.
Wish they were on camera.
Go here and turn around and face.
Yeah. I'm glad we have the two chiefs' approval on this. Thank you, gentlemen. Additional questions, comments, discussions for Gail? This is a first reading. If there's any questions that you might have between now and then, please give it to Gail or Garrett. This makes a lot of sense, but again, this is a first reading. If there's additional comments, questions, please contact them. Next item on the agenda. Need a motion to have the first reading of bill number 12-23.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing and directing the city administrator of the City of Republic, Missouri to enter into an agreement with the City of Springfield for the acquisition of pictometry, providing a more accurate geographical information system.
Welcome, Ms. Nigel. Give us the overview, please.
Thank you. Every 3 to 5 years, we enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Springfield. They also enter into this with other municipalities in the area. And basically what that does is allows us to afford the GIS system that provides a map base for the City of Republic and also for the Greene County area. This basically would authorize the agreement to be effective for this year. And what we have done is presented you with the Pictometry intergovernmental, that's a tongue twister, agreement. And it originally was for $4,300, and this is something that I do need to bring before the council. It states that in the agreement itself, there is a change order that has increased the total cost to $56,3209, and I don't want the Exhibit D to be misread or misunderstood, that it was just going to be for $4,000, let's see what it shows, $315.42. That was the original amount. Since then, Pictometry with the City of Springfield came back and brought forward an upgrade, and it basically gives a more detailed map basis. They talk about the 3-inch type of map versus the 4-inch. This is going to give a more detailed map basis for the City of Republic and for the other entities that are involved. The map, as you can see under the discussion and analysis, is used for many aspects of the analysis of the city's growth. Every time there's annexation, every time there's construction, any of the above, this provides the mechanism in which the flyover is done and the pictometry is provided to the city. So this would be basically approving an item that was listed in the budget and approved for 2012 for right at $4,300. There has been an upgrade provision in there that would bring it up to $5,600.
Before we get to questions, comments, I want to clarify, council, that since it is correct in the exhibit, the actual exhibit, the agreement here on your white paper, it is correct in there. That is all explained. The dollars and cents are $5,632.09. That is the correct document, even though our yellow piece of paper, the non-official exhibit, listed at $43,1542. It is correct in the exhibit. However, just want to make sure that everybody is aware of the change order, aware of the total cost, and that it is budgeted for $43,1542, and it has been upgraded. Want to make sure everybody's aware of the financials. On to comments, questions, discussions from Ms. Noggle on this particular item. Anything at all? This is a first read. If there's any questions, comments, or discussion that you have, that you might want to bring up, or have questions about the cost or anything that has to do with the technical side of it, please contact Ms. Noggle at the planning department. On the next item of the agenda, need a motion to have the first read of bill number 12-24.
Motion, second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, establishing the minimum regulations governing the design, construction, alteration, enlargement, repair, demolition, removal, and use of all buildings and structures, providing for the issuance of permits, collection of fees, making of inspections, providing penalties for the violation thereof, known as the Building Code, and repealing existing ordinance number 0674 of the City of Republic, State of Missouri.
Ms. Noggle, please give us an overview of the longest exhibit I think I've ever seen.
This will probably be the shortest explanation, too. This ordinance is put before you to adopt the 2012 International Building Code Series, and because of the technicality of this exhibit, I've asked Sonny Zajac, our building inspector, to come forward and give you an overview.
Good evening.
Good evening.
October 2006 was the last time we adopted the building codes, and it is now 2012. We have new addition, And, the exhibits kind of give you an overview of all the different codes that we have, along with the appendices in each code. And rather than try to explain all of that tonight, I thought we could, spend some time. We have a 90-day period for public comment on this bill. So we've got few council meetings between then and now, that we can probably go over those if you have any questions. But the exhibits, the last one's a little spreadsheet where we looked at the, other local jurisdictions, what they're planning on adopting, and what they currently have adopted. And we're trying to stay pretty much in line with what they're doing.
I would like to recommend council that you take a look as we go through this particular bill. Once you get into the 2012 International Building Code there are certain appendixes that are listed there that staff has recommended not adopting. There are also, appendix areas that staff recommends to adopt. So please take a look at those as you go through there. We're gonna have 90 days to review and look at this particular ordinance. Wanna make sure that everybody's on board. Also, if you have questions about the adoptions or any particular one adopting or not adopting, please contact Sonny on those and allow Sonny to give you his and the planning department's rationale for adopting or for recommending to not adopt. Please make sure that you get those questions. That's fair enough, Sonny? Yes, sir. Want to make sure that everybody's aware of not only what we're doing, what we're recommending to adopt, what we're not recommending to adopt, but at the same time get the rationale behind it. And Sonny and the planning department will provide that for you. Does everybody understand where I'm looking at here? Everybody understand what I'm looking at? Okay, Dr. Ward, go ahead.
So are we saying if, in fact, we do what they ask, and they say don't adopt, what does that mean we're just gonna remove that?
In the past, the city has not adopted any of the appendices. The appendices that, we're recommending, a lot of those are informational appendices, like pictures. Some of the other ones are a little bit more restrictive in some of the code areas. But unless we specifically say we are adopting an appendix, they are not adopted. They're in the code book, but they're not enforced.
For example, Dr. Ward, to your point on Appendix B.
Did you see that? Huh? The tsunami generated flood hazard.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Well, I'm
just one.
looking at number 12, sizing of water piping system.
Basically, that, section, would deal, it would give you some alternatives to what the code specifies. We already have a system in place. Public Works requires certain sizes, and we find, no reason to make a change to that at this time.
And again, we have 90 days. If there are questions before then, please make sure Sonny gets those. That's a good example, Dr. Ward. The one I was looking at was at the front of this. Actually was the first one under 2012, Appendix B, Board of Appeals. It requires establishment of Board of Appeals, blah, blah, blah. That's something that, we have basically in place with our council and some of the other things that we have in the city that's not necessarily applicable to the situation that we have here.
What Sonny had mentioned and Gail and I talked about as well is over the course of the next 90 days, it's really 6 other meetings that we'll have. We could actually break this down, each council meeting, and go through, one section at a time and give an overview of each of the changes. If you want, otherwise we can just maybe pick out a date where we can have Sonny here to be able to answer questions too, whatever you think.
Council, please let me know between now and the next meeting how you want to approach this, if you want to approach it at all, if you want to go through it on your own, however you want to approach it. We want to make sure you have every piece of information available. At the same time, we want to make sure you have every piece of rationale available. For instance, that particular one, we have already systems in place. That's why staff recommends not adopting. So we want to make sure you have all the reasoning, all the rationale, and every bit of information that's available to you. So that's kind of how you let me know how you want to approach it, and we'll work it out on the agenda to make sure that we are covered. Any additional questions or comments? Go ahead, Mr. Krischke. before we
There's
adjourn.
two other items that have been brought up in the past that, we are gonna tackle, outside of the building codes. One, would be, vinyl siding in multi-family dwellings, especially the apartment houses. Dwayne, can attest that we fight fires, I don't know how often, but often enough where it's a concern where the vinyl siding is a combustible material, and we're gonna deal with that within the fire safety codes, and then the same thing will apply. We had talked at one point about changing the, construction of the walls, firewalls within the multifamily buildings. We've met with the HBA, and we've got an agreement with them on what would be an acceptable construction method. That as well will go into the fire and safety side of things, so those will come forward along with all of the rest of these, but those are just a regular two-read deal.
Correct. Any additional questions, comments for Sonny or Gail? All right, Tom. Again, this is the first read. We have 90 days to make sure that if you read through this, you see something that, you need some more explanation on or need a rationale for, please contact Sonny and Gail.
There will be a test.
At what meeting?
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a random test, Dan.
I hate those.
On to the next item on the agenda, need a motion to have the first reading of bill number 12-25.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending Chapter 130 Republic City Code Municipal Court, Article 2, Court Costs and Fees by amending Section 130.250 Court Costs to add a biometric surcharge.
Chief Lowe, please give us the overview on a biometric surcharge.
Well, first I thought I'd explain what a biometric was.
Thank you.
A couple of years ago, we were fortunate to receive through the Missouri Police Chiefs Association in the state a live scan fingerprint reader, and it's all based on computers and scanning them through light sources whenever you put down your palms and your fingerprints on this clear glass screen. In the old days, we used ink. What this does is it automatically transfers the fingerprints that are rolled from people we've arrested or that have been convicted of citations through to the state through the mule circuit, and they can be verified that they're acceptable immediately. And back in the ink fingerprint days, we'd get them rejected 3 months later after we've arrested and released the person, they wouldn't ever be in the system. So this automatically attaches any citations or criminal charges to their record, and it can also be incorporated using mugshots. So this is very beneficial because now the files track them up through the state automatically, and most of the agencies in the state of Missouri and the sheriff's departments all are on this system. Now to the surcharge. There's an ongoing expense to maintaining this free grant piece of equipment that goes into the form of a couple $3,000 annual maintenance fees, which tend to go up each year. And so this will allow us to offset that by now having the people we've charged pay for that. And also the other things that I hope I've explained in the exhibit as far as the cost for the video surveillance in the jails. It's inmate security fund. If we have to do cleaning of the jail blankets, or if an inmate were to be injured in some manner through a traffic crash before we have even arrested him and has to be treated at the hospital before he can be taken to jail, that would help offset the expenses out of our budget and the taxpayers onto the inmate.
Questions, comments, discussions for Chief Lowe? Mr. Harder?
Surcharge, do you have any idea of what that could take? If you were to have it last year, how much would that have generated?
I'm thinking the numbers that the court clerk ran, it would have probably generated over $6,000.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Additional questions, comments, discussions for Chief Lowe?
Is $2 enough?
That's what we're allowed to charge.
This is authorized by,
Hey, come on.
yeah, this is authorized by state statute, and they set the amount.
All right, thank you. Looking for income to the city, that's all I'm doing.
Right.
That's the problem. Any other additional pertinent questions, comments, discussion? Chief Lowe. This is a first read. If you have additional questions, regarding any information contained herein, the exhibit, please contact Chief Lowe. If you wanna fight the state on their charges, please contact them. Thank you, Chief Lowe. Need a motion to have the first reading of bill number 12-26.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, repealing ordinance number 0673 and 0744, adopting the 2012 edition of the International Fire Code, including appendix chapters A through J, regulating and governing the safeguarding of life and property from fire and explosion hazards arising from the storage, handling, and use of hazardous substances, materials, and devices, and from conditions hazardous to life or property in the occupancy of buildings and premises in the City of Republic.
I take that back. That's the longest one so far. My apologies. Welcome, Chief Compton. Please give us an overview that's shorter than your ordinance, Bill.
This kinda goes hand in hand with the city's building code. The, ISO rating for the city is somewhat tied to a number of different departments within the city. Water department, police department, dispatch, and building regulations is one of them. They like for your codes to be updated as they are issued on a 3-year cycle. The 2009 code, there really wasn't a whole lot of changes to it, and it really wasn't worth the expense of going through it. Now we're getting about 6 years out from the 2006, 2012's out, and we need to go ahead and update our codes and stay current with the neighboring fire departments and municipalities around us. Fire code is pretty much standard in all the neighboring communities. We have made some amendments to the code to fit Republic. We have deleted some sections of the code that required special permits for dry cleaners, fairs, fruit ripening, just some, the code's the one thing that fits everything. And there's some things there that don't pertain to Republic, so we just took them out. Plus, we really don't care to regulate the Republic Kiwanis Fall Festival. So, we've deleted those sections out that require special permits, which would have required us to charge them a fee. We've done some additions in the past, or amendments in the past to the fire code, which is on these back 2 pages here. And in the bold, you'll see a couple additional amendments that we've added in there. Requires the monitoring of water flow alarms and sprinkler systems, and also requires that the fire alarms in multifamily buildings now have a horn strobe device or some sort of audible device which in each apartment complex or in each dwelling unit. Code only requires now that you have 2 horn strobes on each floor in the breezeway. And what we're finding out through trial and error is that's not waking the people up when we have a incident at an apartment complex here in town. The existing buildings that we have will be grandfathered. As new ones are built, they'll have to comply with this. And that's pretty much true with all the businesses in town. The existing ones will be grandfathered in. If somebody buys a business, upgrades it, changes the occupancy, then they have to bring it up to the latest edition of the code.
Questions, comments, discussion for Chief Compton?
Does that include rentals also? I mean, like if you rent a building?
Yeah.
And you're, okay.
And this last page, I don't have a clue why that's on there, it's not mine.
That belonged with the
Previous ones.
Gale and Sonny for
Yeah.
building code. So when Sonny referenced, you had a chart in the back showing what every other city has done with the adoption. It got in
It
the
got
wrong
stapled on
section
mine.
number, so that goes with the previous one.
You can use that. Chief Compton, 2 questions for you. One, what's our ISO rating since you brought it up?
3.
Thank you. And does this will come up for a second read before the passing or the voting on the building codes.
Right.
Does this in any way delay that because we're out 90 days for the building code?
We should be okay. We shouldn't have any problem.
Fair enough.
providing it passes. If it doesn't, we may have some issues, but right now, we're in good shape.
All right, thank you. Additional questions, comments, discussion for Chief Compton? Fair enough, thank you, Chief Compton. This is a first read. If there are questions, that you have between now and the next read, please get with Chief Compton to get those questions answered specifically and, or wait till the next meeting to ask those. It's up to you. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, need a motion to have the first reading of bill number 12-27.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing and directing the City Administrator of the City of Republic, Missouri to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission and the Missouri Transportation Finance Corporation for a direct loan and to execute a promissory note with the Missouri Transportation Finance Corporation for the Route 60 and Oakwood intersection improvements.
Thank you, Brenda. Welcome, Laura Guy Rice. Please give us the overview, please.
Hi, I apologize to Brenda, it's another lengthy one, so I think Dwayne had me beat though, so.
I think you did too.
It's just a few words. I'll try better next time.
Laura, pull that microphone down, please, just so they can make sure they hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, this is a continuation actually, or the end product of the application that we submitted to the MTSC for the Oakwood 60, Route 60 Oakwood, intersection project back in December. And we did get approval, we got notice of approval this last week. And along with that, we also got an email saying that everything has to be filed by February 27th. So, that's why tonight it's the first and second read, so kind of emergency on that, instance. But what they did approve us for was a 5-year term at a 2.96% interest rate to commence in 2013. So we have a year before we would start the payment. They will give us our money after they close, March 1st. That's what the expediency was of getting the paperwork back to them, because they closed, the commission met in January. February is when they get their documents prepared, and they close March 1st. So, but we would like to explore, since that was a higher interest rate than what we had anticipated, which they had warned us that it would be an interest rate when they actually approved the loan, that we would like to explore maybe making some repayments that are higher than what they have given us, and or using the STP funds to pay down that balance and to lower the financing costs. On the upside, getting this money back will improve the financial situation of the Streets and Stormwater Fund for 2012.
Questions, comments, discussions for Laura? I would like to direct you, before we get those, on page 2 of the exhibit, there is a payment schedule. That is the anticipated payment schedule. But as Laura stated, we're going to explore some options to get that taken care of a little bit earlier. This does allow David's departments to free up some cash flow to do other items, and allows us to not have to pay a whole lot for the long haul to make sure that we are get this project done, but at the same time do a few other projects as well, and just not be able to do one project and not do anything else. So that's kind of the rationale behind it. Now, questions, comments, discussions for Laura? Mr. Wilson.
$221,019, that's the total cost of the city
That
for
is
this project.
That is the city's out-of-pocket share, because they used some STP funds, so they took some of our STP funds for that project, so.
Very good.
Other questions, comments, discussion?
Can
Mr.
the
Bashir.
loan be paid off at an early date?
Yes, no prepayment penalties. So that's why I thought if we could just make an additional, some payments along with what they have set out, then that would lower our interest.
Other questions, comments, discussion? due to the timing, Laura and David have requested for an emergency second read. However, as policy of board, we don't usually do those. However, in this particular case, they're requesting it, under the timing of the issue. So, I need a motion to have the emergency second read.
Motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. We'll move on to the second read. Need a motion to have the second reading of bill number 12-27.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing and directing the city administrator of the City of Republic, Missouri to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission and the Missouri Transportation Finance Corporation for a direct loan and to execute a promissory note with the Missouri Transportation Finance Corporation for the Route 60 and Oakwood intersection improvements.
Need a motion for final passage of bill number 12-27.
Motion.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Laura, do you want to add anything to the overview?
Any questions in a few minutes? But, this will allow for Mr. Kritschke to authorize to execute this agreement and promissory notes.
Questions, comments, discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wilson,
Aye.
Councilmember Brashear,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder,
Aye.
Councilmember Ward,
Aye.
Councilmember Poole,
Aye.
Councilmember Harrelson.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We do have an item in the executive session. However, for the record, we do not have any open public business after executive session. So once executive session is done, the meeting is complete. There is no further action or anything else on the agenda. So, I need a motion to go into executive session under RSMO 610.021.1. Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Harrelson,
Aye.
Councilmember Poole,
Aye.
Councilmember Ward,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder,
Aye.
Councilmember Brashear,
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson.
Motion carries 6-0.